Hello everybody and welcome to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. I am Jason C, and in this fun day of blind tasting, we're gonna see if there is a new $25 and under budget bourbon that I like best. Today we have a couple of old favorites and two newer additions to the shelf to test, including the brand new Ezra 99 from Luxco. So let's meet our contenders and then dive into this fun blind tasting today on the Mash and Drum. First up is Old Forester Signature. It doesn't actually say Signature anywhere on the bottle, but gets its name honoring the legacy of founder George Garvin Brown, which has his signature on each and every bottle. This is bottled at 100 proof, carries a mash bill of 72 corn, 18 rye, 10% malted barley, and retails in my area for about 21 bucks. Next up is a newer offering from Jim Beam named Old Tub. In 1892, when James and Park Beam took over leading operations, they named the family distillery after their best-selling bourbon brand, Old Tub. Now, the brand's name was a reference to the large mash tubs in which mash was mixed, cooked, and stirred by hand. Jim Beam Old Tub is a non-chill filtered, bottled and bond bourbon. Up until 2020, it had been continually distilled and sold only in 375 milliliter bottles at the distillery's gift shop in Claremont, Kentucky. But last year, this became a release for everyone, and even though it's a limited release when it came out in June of last year, it's still pretty available. This is bottled at 100 proof, carries a mash bill of 75 corn, 13 rye, and 12% malted barley. It's bottled and bond and retails for about 23 bucks. Next up is my Rock, my stalwart bourbon that's always on my shelf, my ever constant and availably delicious Wild Turkey 101. This is the flagship bourbon from Wild Turkey's legendary father-son master distiller combo of Jimmy and Eddie Russell. Now, Wild Turkey may still be a bottom shelf for some, but for me, it's some of the best bourbon on the shelf and far superior to a lot of bourbons that are chased by the taters. Wild Turkey 101 bourbon is a blend of 6 to 8-year-old whiskeys. Yes, it leans heavily towards the 6-year component, but that's at least 50% older or greater than more expensive whiskeys that sometimes you could find on the shelf. It's bottled at 101 proof, contains a recipe of 75 corn, 13 rye, 12 barley, and retails for about 23 bucks for a 750 milliliter bottle. Lastly is the new kid on the block, Ezra 99 from Luxco. Now, this is the latest addition to the Ezra Brooks range, which is a Kentucky straight bourbon bottled at 49.5 ABV. The flagship Ezra Brooks bourbon is bottled at 45 ABV. The goal was to create a higher proof bourbon without sacrificing the rich notes Ezra Brooks is known for, said John Rempe, master distiller at Luxco Distillers in a prepared statement. And we achieved that with 99. The result is a smooth, drinkable bourbon with hints of caramel, vanilla, chocolate, and spice. This is available nationwide, bottled at 99 proof and charcoal filtered for a smooth, mellow finish, and retails for about 25 bucks. All right, so let's move these bottles out of the way here. As you can see, I have my new jet black Glencairns. These are the glasses that Batman drinks out of. I'm just letting you know, when Batman drinks whiskey, this is what he uses. At least that's my theory. Also, it helps me because I can't see the color. I can't be fazed by anything, just exactly what's in the glass, nose. This way, each and every bourbon gets a fair shake. Now, the Ezra 99, even though I've tasted it a couple times, I figured it'd be fun to throw it in a blind rather than test it, straight away, because I feel like, when we're at this price point, you got a lot of great available bourbons on that same price point, about $25 and a little less. It's going up against 3 of them right here. So let's see how well it stands up, including next to my, stalwart Wild Turkey 101. So let's see, I'm gonna start here and then work my way down. Wow, that is just old dusty peanut. Peanut shell, peanut butter. This is a hell of a lot of peanut. Touch of cinnamon, Cracker Jack caramel corn there. Good nose, pretty potent here. Now again, I wanted to pair all these together also because they're all generally around the same proof, around the same price. Yeah, this is just all peanut, cinnamon, maybe a slight hint of chocolate, but this is just all peanut. Let's go for a sip, here we go. Definitely peanut shell, peanut brittle. Have I said peanut enough? Jeez. I mean, if I was a betting man, I would say that has to be maybe the Old Tub, because that Old Tub is a peanutty, that is like, that's like the Planters man just came up and just smacked you right in the face in that bourbon. A little bit of creamy vanilla. There's definitely some caramel corn there, some Cracker Jack. Let's go for another sip. Oh my God, it's getting so peanut butter. So peanut buttery. It went from like a peanut shell in the beginning to more of a smooth, creamy, actually like a crunchy peanut butter. If you ever had crunchy, when you still have the remnants of the, you know, of the raw peanut, you know, mixed in with the peanut butter, that creamy and the little bit of a sugary sweetness there. All right, pretty good. I'm still guessing that's the damn old tub. Forgot my water break. All right, let's go to number 2 here, see what we get. Oh, this is a nice nose. This is more cinnamon, more caramel. Tons of vanilla, like a vanilla cream, almost like vanilla icing. Very vanilla forward on this one, but in a good way. I don't mean vanilla like in a boring, typical bourbon note way. I mean like vanilla icing, like rich vanillas. Little citrus punch there too. There's a slight nuttiness I'm getting out of this one as well. Not exactly sure. Definitely some nice oak spice here. Yeah, this has a really beautiful mix of kind of like a creamsicle, like cinnamon glaze, like orange, citrus, vanilla. Definitely some caramel here too. I like this nose way better than number 1. Let's go for a sip here. Ooh, that one has some spice. That one's bringing the spice there. Nice spicy finish on that one. Sweet up front, caramel vanilla up front. And then all of a sudden that citrus comes and then the cinnamon just blasts you right in the back of the palate, especially compared to number 1 here. This thing is full flavor, full spice. Man, nice caramel, cinnamon red hots in the back end, which is interesting. None of these are terribly high rye, but this one is really acting like it's a real high rye. Just a really nice peppery finish on the back end to go with all those sweet. Very nice balance. I think it's definitely better balanced than number 1 here. All right, let's go to number 3 here, see what we get. Oh, number 3 is very cotton candy. Cotton candy, oak, definitely some spice there. Again, you get your vanillas. Man, a little bit of the, getting a banana note, which could spell Old Forester. Oh, beautiful nose on this one though. Not sure which nose I like better, 2 or 3. 2 is just like, man, just a tad sweeter. 3's got a little bit more oak and a little bit more of a, maybe a slight cherry note going on, kind of mixed with that banana note there. Let's go for a sip. A little more of a cherry cotton candy. There's also like a graham cracker note on this one as well. Cinnamon, kind of a cookie, like a graham cracker cookie type like punch to it. Wow. Okay. I don't know, so far between 2 and 3, I like them, but for different reasons here. Let's go for number 3 again. 3 has a beautiful mid-palate and finish. Not much going up on the front though. I feel like number 2 is a little bit more balanced in the experience you were getting. But damn, that is good. That is good. Definitely less, still not as peanutty as number 1. It's got definitely a better balance to it. One last sip on 3 here. No, there's no nuttiness there. No nuttiness at all. This is just all sweet. Cherry, vanilla, banana, cinnamon, or I should say like a cinnamon, like a graham cracker, like graham cracker crust a little bit. All right. So far, I think I have 2 of these nailed down. I'm not exactly sure. Again, I haven't had a lot of experience with that Ezra 99. I've only taken a few sips of it. I feel like let's just throw it in the blind and see what happens. Let's go to the last one here. Oh, chocolate. A lot of chocolate, actually. It's a slight nuttiness here too, but not nearly as much as 1, I don't think. Yeah, number 1 is like pure peanut shell. This is like chocolate covered peanuts. Definitely some vanilla, some caramel there, a little, like a Cracker Jack note. I like the mix of chocolate and spice that I'm getting on number 4 here. Again, there is a slight nuttiness to it, but not like number 1 here. Let's go for a sip. Still get peanuts, still get chocolate, cinnamon, maybe like a slight like maple candy type note there. Definitely some nuttiness, little honey as well. Another sip here. I like the balance of that one. Nice palate up front. Get the sweet flavors, the vanilla, the Cracker Jacks. Starts working its way back. A little bit of that chocolate note kind of punches. And then it finishes with just like a really nice, not overly spicy. It's definitely not nearly as spicy as number 2, but gives you just a nice little kick there on the back end. I'm digging that one. Now, that last sip, it got a little bit less interesting. You know, consistency is a big thing with me when you're sipping these, especially these cheaper everyday sippers. You know, it's like you don't expect much, but these are, all 4 of these are, at least 3 of these I know are, you know, definitely bourbons that punch above its weight class when it comes to when you look at price and value ratio. This one's getting less interesting the more I sip it. And that could be because it's last in line. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a short break. I'm going to let this sit, let my palate reset for maybe a good 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna come back and try these in reverse order and see what happens. All right, is it that time already? It's that time, okay. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Now we're gonna head back the other direction. I'm just gonna do a quick tasting one more time through and see what we get. I'm not gonna be nosing again. I just wanna get the flavors on the palate again and see how they react now going the opposite direction, because it makes a big difference. If you're blind tasting, order can make or break a certain bourbon or whiskey. It's just what happens. You know, so I've had some bourbons that have been some of my personal favorites, and just I think based on where it was in the order, really kind of, it got killed. That actually happens to me with Four Roses a lot. I'll put Four Roses in a blind. If it's usually first, it's like if it's first in the glass just by chance, it does really well. If it's kind of towards the end, you know, it just, I don't know, it just always falls flat for some reason. It's kind of a weird combination when you're, you know, doing blinds like this. All right, let's go start with number 4 here, work our way back. So going back to it, love the chocolate note in there. Nice like milk chocolate, creamy milk chocolate vanilla. It's kind of like drinking a Dove bar. Like a milk chocolate, not the dark chocolate, like a milk chocolate Dove bar. It just has like a nice vanilla ice cream feel to it. Maybe like a milk chocolate Dove bar with, you know, just some, like a few peanuts scattered around here and there in the vanilla ice cream. I think that's what I'm getting there. One last sip of this one, then we'll move down the line. It's good. I will say though, compared to the others, this one is bringing a lot less of a finish every time I go back to it. I grade a lot on finishes, but as far as like front and mid palate, I think there's something here, but just the back end isn't really doing it for me. All right, let's go to number 3 here. So now number 3 coming off this one, it's got like this nail polish remover thing going on, which I am not digging. But the cotton candy is still there. Yeah, definitely the banana. But yeah, coming off of that one, this one all of a sudden got real funky. That sip was better. A little bit more balanced. This one's kind of the reverse of number 4, whereas I'm not getting as much on the front of the palate, but getting a nice finish on number 3, whereas this one was the reverse. All right, number 2, here we go. Yeah, number 2 for me has all the things. All the good things. It's got the sweet up front, the vanillas, the caramels, and then as this thing, it kind of evolves into more of a citrus bomb with some cinnamon on the back end. Nice spicy finish here. One last sip of number 2. Yeah, it's probably the most full flavored and most balanced out of all of them, I think. And it's consistent. Every time I go back to it, it's tasting, it's giving me pretty much the same type of experience. All right, last one, let's go back to Captain Peanut over here. Here we go. Crunchy peanut butter, probably the second best finish out of all 4. It's got a really nice bite to it. But it's just so like 1 or 2 notes here. Maybe 3. It's like peanut shell, caramel, vanilla, but the ratio to that peanut shell note, it's like 80 peanut, 10 caramel, 10 vanilla. Like that's like the combination. That's percentages of flavors I'm getting out of that one. But I will say I think overall it's giving me really good flavors, but it's just so heavy on the peanut. All right, let me take a few minutes and rank these, and then we'll find out what came out on top. All right, guys, I have my ranking here. I kind of slid the glasses around to the one I like the best down to probably the least. So last place was actually my number 1 bourbon, which was that peanutty kind of 1-2 note. And even though it had a good finish to it, it was just way too much damn peanut for me to balance it out. So I guess it was the Old Tub. Let's see what it is. Nailed it. Old Tub. So Old Tub from Jim Beam. I've heard a lot of people say that this is just pure peanut butter and peanut shell in a bottle, and it pretty much is. Not to say that it's a bad bourbon if you like that flavor profile. If you just like unequivocally Beam and all the peanut, all the Mr. Peanut coming in and smacking you in the face and kicking you in the ass and saying, enjoy my bourbon, then you will love you some Old Tub. So we have third place, which is actually in my number 4 in the lineup. That was the one that was a little bit more chocolatey, but the more I sipped it, the less of a finish it had. But I did like the flavors up front. I just wish it had a little bit more bite on the finish. And this one is, oh shit, new kid on the block, the Ezra 99. So old Ezra Brooks 99, well not old Ezra Brooks, Ezra Brooks 99. Comes in third place in this tasting, takes out the Old Tub. Again, there was a peanuttiness to this, so it kind of clued me in. It could be the Ezra, especially as we know, a lot of their stuff from Luxco was coming from Heaven Hill for a long time. Now they've been purchased by MGP, so we'll see what happens as it goes down the line. But right now, the thing that won me over on this one was that milk chocolate note. The milk chocolate and combination of vanilla, I think are really nice. If you're a fan of regular Ezra Brooks, which I think is a great budget bourbon, even cheaper than this, I think you'll really like the little bit of extra flavor punch in this Ezra Brooks 99. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the fact that the finish really just kind of tails away really fast. But if you like something without too much of a bite to it, you like that chocolate covered peanut type flavor profile, definitely try the Ezra. You'll probably love it. So we have the 2 newbies, generally the newest kids on the block here that you have in the Ezra 99 and the Old Tub taking 3rd and 4th place respectively. Now we have the old stalwarts, and I don't think you have to ask me which ones won out. I guarantee I know what that one is. So this one is, you guessed it, Old Forester 100 in 2nd and Wild Turkey 101 in 1st. So generally, Wild Turkey 101 for me just always destroys a lot of bourbons and other tastings. When you put it against bourbons around the same proof point, it just has a balance and a sweetness and a spiciness to it that I absolutely love. Now, the Old Forester Signature is one that I generally don't sip neat too often. I love Old Forester Signature in a good cocktail, but when I do sip it neat, it's still a delicious, great bourbon. And for the price, I mean, 21, 22 bucks for that bottle for a 100 proof Old Forester product. Absolutely delicious. But as we tasted through this, you saw 4 very different flavor profiles that everyone can enjoy without breaking the bank. All of these are $25 and under. Now, when it comes to the newbie 99, the Ezra Brooks, yeah, does it have stiff competition on the shelf? Absolutely it does. All 3 of these, depending on what you like, could be chosen over the Ezra Brooks profile. But I'm telling you, if anyone out there just wants some chocolate, vanilla, a little bit of nuttiness in their bourbon without a huge lingering burn, something smooth and easy, probably even really nice with an ice cube as well, I think you'll really like the Ezra 99. All right, guys, so as we're about to sign off, I'm gonna combine all these in one glass. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that as well. If you haven't yet, find me on Instagram, find me on Twitter. Let me know if you've had the old Ezra 99 yet, what you think of it. Did you guess what I was tasting as I was going through it? I think a lot of you probably nailed the Old Tub part of it, because once I said peanut and creamy peanut butter, I'm sure a lot of people that have had experience with Old Tub knew right away it was Old Tub. It does have a very distinct peanutty flavor profile. But with that, hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey. It's the people you share it with. So cheers from the Mash and Drum. Let's try this blend real quick. I still get all that damn peanut shell. Cheers, everybody. See you next time.